This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Good morning and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Thursday, February 24. In Squiz Kids Today, floods, rain and deluge. Colombia's hippo problem. Equal pay for women soccer players, and in outer space, it's raining gems. That's what's making news, kid style.
The lowdown.
The Great East Coast deluge continued yesterday and throughout the night as rainfall records in New South Wales and Queensland tumbled. Hundreds of people got caught in flooding and freight trains were knocked off their rails. What's a deluge? It's a fancy word for a sudden rush of water that drenches everything, which is what the various weather systems up and down the east coast of Australia have done. While Sydney mopped up yesterday after getting more rain in one day than it usually does in a month at this time of year, and it bunkered down for more wet weather today, the southeast corner of Queensland was on high alert as a slow-moving low-pressure system dumped record amounts of water on towns like Gympie, where 2 months' worth of rain fell in one single night, enough to derail a freight train there. The heavens opened above Brisbane and the Gold Coast again last night, with the Queensland capital and surrounding areas bracing themselves for what could be at least 2 more days of torrential rain. What's a slow-moving low-pressure system, I hear you ask? Low-pressure systems are weather systems usually associated with rain, and when they are slow-moving, it means they sit above a certain area and saturate it. Stay safe out there, Queensland Squiz Kids.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Colombia, in South America, where local authorities are having a hard time handling all the hippos. Wait, what? Hippos? In South America? But hippos are native to Africa. How and why is there a hippo problem in Colombia? One of the country's most notorious criminals, notorious means well known but not for anything good, flew a bunch of hippos into Colombia many years ago illegally to keep as pets on his great big estate in the Colombian countryside. Problem was, the hippos had babies and the population grew until there were more hippos than they knew what to do with, and then they started living in local rivers and wandering into local towns. And trust me, no one wants to accidentally stumble upon a hippo on their way to the shops. They can be very aggressive. The Colombian government is now working out ways to bring the hippo population under control. Good luck with that.
Sport time.
It was a big day for women's soccer yesterday when the US women's team finally won a 6-year battle for equal pay. Equal pay means getting paid the same amount for doing the same job, and it's something that's being talked about a lot in sport. At the last Soccer World Cup, the women's teams shared a total of $30 million in prize money, which sounds like a lot until you hear that the men's teams got to share in $400 million worth of prize money, more than 10 times as much for playing the same game. Some countries, including Australia, have decided to split the money more fairly between men and women. But that didn't happen in America, even though the US women have won 4 World Cups since 1985, while the men haven't even made a semi-final since 1930. Even though yesterday's settlement in America was a big step forward, women in tennis, AFL, rugby, basketball and more are still fighting to earn the same amount of money as men. Here's one stat to leave with you. In AFLW, female players get paid about 1/5 as much as men do for training and playing the same game.
Spaced out.
The clouds are made of metal, and when it rains, liquid gems fall from the sky. No, I'm not talking about some make-believe world from the Star Wars fictional universe. I'm talking about an actual planet which astronomers yesterday revealed the most mind-boggling details about. The planet is called WASP 121b, and it's located about 855 light-years away from Earth. Now, 1 light-year is how far a beam of light would travel in 1 year, which is approximately 9 million kilometres. So, a planet that lies 855 light-years away is 855 times 9 million kilometres away. So, quite a long way away. On this special exoplanet, one side is in daylight the entire time, where temperatures reach up to 3,500 degrees Celsius, and the other side is in total darkness. Clouds are made of metal, winds blow at 17,000 kilometers per hour, and when it rains liquid rubies and sapphires. How do we know all this? Because we sent a massive telescope up into space many years ago, and from that telescope we're able to see planets on the other side of our solar system. Mind blown.
Time for the Squiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Astronomers studying the exoplanet WASP 121b reckon it has clouds made out of what? That's right, it's metal. Question number 2. What did the US women's soccer team win their battle for yesterday? Yeah, that's right, equal pay. Question number 3. What animal are authorities in Colombia working out how to control? Yeah, that's right, it's hippos.
Shout-outs.
It's February 24. Today is Fat Thursday in countries like Poland, Germany and Spain, where people gorge themselves on fatty foods before Lent, the Christian practice of giving something up before Easter. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Duke from Craigburn, Audrey from Stanwell Park, Bede from Sydney, Eric from Windsor, Zoe from Sandhurst, Gabrielle from Pendle Hill, Mitchell from Narandra, Peter P. from Hebersham and Matt from Exeter. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 4L at Avondale School in Currambong, Class 2-3 Balla at Quirindi Public School, and to all the students at Stratford Public School with Mrs. Smith and Miss Franks. And finally, a very special shout-out from Amanda over at Squiz Kids for Schools to her new friends in Melbourne. Yesterday, she visited the Year 3 students at Ivanhoe Primary, and today she's seeing the Year 5-6 students at Mitcham Primary and Ms. Hibbert's class at St. Francis Xavier. And the smile on her face is huge. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.